Welcome to a profound exploration of how the veil of ignorance obscures our perception of reality. In this dialogue, I will guide you through understanding the nature of this veil, its implications on our lives, and how we can lift it to see the world more clearly. Imagine walking through a fog so thick that you can only see a few feet ahead. This fog is not made of water droplets, but of misconceptions, biases, and unexamined beliefs that cloud our understanding and perception of the world. This is what I refer to as the veil of ignorance. The concept of the veil of ignorance originally comes from philosophical discussions about justice and fairness. It suggests that to make truly impartial decisions, one must make those decisions without any knowledge of one's own background, social position, or personal characteristics. Here, however, we broaden this concept to discuss how our personal ignorance about the true nature of reality affects our lives and relationships. Every one of us at some point operates under this veil. It shapes what we think we know about ourselves, the people around us, and the world at large. It influences our reactions, our decisions, and ultimately, our happiness and suffering. Let's start by exploring the foundation of this ignorance. It roots in the basic human condition, our limited senses and inherent biases. We perceive the world not as it is, but as it appears through the lens of our personal experiences, cultural background, and psychological predispositions. This selective perception can lead us to misunderstand the true essence of things and hold on to false narratives about life. For instance, consider how often you might judge a situation or person hastily, based on first impressions or hearsay, without taking the time to gather more complete information. Why do we do this? It is because our brain is wired to take shortcuts, to save energy by jumping to conclusions. Unfortunately, these shortcuts often lead us astray. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. One might wonder, how do these distortions affect our daily lives? They manifest in our relationships, in the workplace, and in how we understand ourselves. For example, if you believe that you are not good enough, this belief, whether true or not, colors your interactions and opportunities. It can prevent you from taking risks or pursuing dreams. Moreover, consider how societal structures, from economic systems to social norms, reinforce certain veils. If we grow up in a culture that values certain traits over others, we might never question whether those values align with true well-being or fairness. Now, think about the last time you experienced a misunderstanding with someone close to you. Could it be that both of you were seeing each other through this veil of ignorance? What assumptions were you making about their intentions or feelings? Shifting our focus inward, self-awareness is the first step in lifting this veil. It involves observing our thoughts, emotions, and reactions without attachment. By becoming mindful observers of our inner world, we begin to see the patterns and biases that distort our perceptions. Practical advice for enhancing self-awareness includes meditation, reflective journaling, and engaging in open, honest dialogues with others. Meditation, for example, allows us to detach from our immediate reactions and gain a broader perspective. Let's also talk about empathy, a powerful tool for piercing through the veil. When you truly try to understand the experiences and feelings of another person, you step outside your own narrative. This not only brings clarity but also fosters deeper connections with others. In this part of our discussion, we have laid the foundation of understanding the veil of ignorance. We have seen how it is constructed by our senses, biases, and cultural conditioning. We have also touched upon the initial steps to lift this veil: self-awareness and empathy. In the next part of our dialogue, we will delve deeper into the mechanisms of self-deception and explore further how we can cultivate a clearer, more authentic view of reality. We will also examine how this clarity can transform our interactions and our approach to life's challenges. Let us now pause and reflect on what has been discussed so far. How might your own biases and unexamined beliefs be coloring your perception of reality? What might be hidden from your view by the fog of your personal veil of ignorance? As we progress in our exploration of the veil of ignorance and its profound impact on our perception of reality, let's delve into the mechanisms of self-deception and how they perpetuate our obscured view. Understanding these mechanisms is crucial for cultivating a clearer, more authentic understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Self-deception, a significant component of the veil of ignorance, functions as a protective layer, shielding us from truths that might disrupt our self-image or worldviews. It's like wearing tinted glasses. They change the color of everything we see without us being aware of it. This distortion can be comforting, but it often leads us astray from truth and authenticity. Consider the role of cognitive biases in self-deception. Confirmation bias, for example, leads us to favor information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs and ignore information that contradicts them. This bias can make the veil thicker and more opaque, restricting us to a confined understanding of reality. How often do you find yourself dismissing evidence that challenges your views? This is confirmation bias at work, reinforcing the veil of ignorance. Another powerful mechanism is the ego's defense system. The ego, in its attempt to maintain a coherent sense of self, often rejects information that might suggest we are less capable, less moral, or less successful than we believe ourselves to be. This rejection is not always conscious. It operates subtly, nudging us away from painful truths and towards comforting illusions. To confront self-deception, we must develop a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves and our environment. This process is neither simple nor painless, but it is deeply rewarding. It involves challenging our beliefs and assumptions, asking hard questions about the sources of these beliefs, and being open to discovering that we might have been wrong. One practical method for challenging self-deception is to actively seek out diverse perspectives. Engage with people who disagree with you, read broadly, and expose yourself to different cultures and ideas. This exposure can help pierce the veil by highlighting the arbitrary nature of many of our assumptions. Now let us turn our attention to the importance of critical thinking and emotional intelligence in lifting the veil of ignorance. Critical thinking allows us to analyze information and arguments critically and logically, helping us to identify and question underlying assumptions. Emotional intelligence, on the other hand, helps us manage our emotions and the emotions of others, providing a clearer lens for understanding interpersonal dynamics. For example, imagine you are in a conflict with a colleague. By applying critical thinking, you might recognize that your reactions are based on assumptions about the colleague's intentions. With emotional intelligence, you might better understand and regulate your emotional responses, facilitating a more constructive dialogue and a clearer understanding of the situation. Furthermore, the practice of mindfulness plays a vital role in lifting the veil. Mindfulness involves maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surrounding environment. This practice helps us observe how our minds work, including how we deceive ourselves. It also reduces the reactivity that clouds our judgment and perpetuates ignorance. To cultivate mindfulness, you can practice regular meditation, Engage in mindful walking or simply take moments throughout the day to pause and fully experience the present moment. These practices ground you in reality, helping dissolve the layers of the veil imposed by past experiences and future anxieties. As we continue to explore these ideas, think about the last time you changed your mind about something significant. What prompted the change? Was it new information, an emotional experience, or the influence of someone you respect? Reflecting on this can reveal how flexible or rigid your own veil of ignorance is. In the next part of our discussion, we will explore how lifting the veil can transform our relationships and societal structures. We will look at how a clearer perception can lead to more authentic connections and a more compassionate society. As we conclude this part, consider how embracing uncertainty might serve as a tool for lifting your own veil. How might acknowledging what you do not know lead to a deeper understanding of reality? In this section of our exploration, we shift our focus toward the transformative effects that lifting the veil of ignorance can have on our relationships and societal structures. Recognizing and removing the distortions in our view of reality not only enhances personal growth, but also fosters a more compassionate and understanding society. One of the most profound impacts of lifting the veil is on our interpersonal relationships. When we see others more clearly, without the cloud of our biases and preconceptions, we are more likely to engage with them authentically. This clarity allows us to appreciate their unique perspectives, struggles, and contributions, which in turn deepens our connections. Think about a relationship in your life that might benefit from this kind of clarity. It could be with a family member, a friend, or a colleague. Often, conflicts and misunderstandings arise not from intentional malice, but from misperceptions and miscommunications. By lifting the veil, by striving to see the other person more clearly, we can address the root causes of conflict rather than just its symptoms. For example, if you find yourself frequently frustrated with a friend's behavior, consider what assumptions might be clouding your understanding of their actions. Are you interpreting their behavior through the lens of past grievances? Could it be that your reactions are influenced more by your state of mind than by their intentions? By questioning these perceptions, you can approach the relationship with a fresher perspective and perhaps resolve long-standing issues. On a larger scale, lifting the veil of ignorance can also lead to structural societal changes. When enough individuals begin to see past their personal and cultural biases, they start questioning and challenging the status quo that upholds these biases. This can lead to more equitable policies, more inclusive practices, and a generally more empathetic society. Consider the impact of societal veils such as racism, sexism, or classism. These are not merely personal biases but are embedded within the structures of society. They influence everything from educational opportunities to legal systems, often perpetuating inequality. By lifting the veil both individually and collectively, we can begin to dismantle these harmful structures and replace them with ones that promote true fairness and understanding. To contribute to this transformation, we can engage in community dialogues, support inclusive policies, and educate ourselves and others about the diverse experiences and challenges people face. It is also vital to listen, to really listen, to the stories and experiences of those who live different realities. This not only helps in lifting our personal veils but also aids in collective societal transformation. Moreover, lifting the veil can profoundly affect our relationship with ourselves. By seeing ourselves more clearly, we can make more authentic choices about our lives and values. We often limit ourselves based on what we think we should be or what others expect of us. But what would you choose if those pressures were lifted? How would you live if you saw your abilities and potentials more clearly? To cultivate this self-understanding, spend time in solitude and reflection. Engage in activities that help you connect with your inner self, whether that's through art, nature, spirituality, or simply being silent. These moments of connection allow you to listen to your deeper desires and fears, beyond the noise of societal expectations. Let's now consider how these individual changes in perception might ripple out into larger changes. Every act of understanding, every moment of clarity, contributes to a broader cultural shift towards greater awareness and compassion. As we prepare to move into the final part of our discussion, let's reflect on the ways in which our personal transformations influence the world around us. How does changing our own perceptions create changes in our relationships and communities? How does the internal work of lifting our veils contribute to the collective work of societal transformation? As we delve further into the implications of lifting the veil of ignorance, it becomes evident that our personal transformations have the potential to catalyze broader societal change. This final part of our exploration examines how individual awareness can ripple outward, influencing communities and eventually shaping societal norms and structures. Transformative ripple effects. Each individual's journey toward greater awareness and understanding can act as a catalyst for collective change. When you challenge your own views and assumptions, it not only changes how you interact with the world, but also how the world interacts with you. Your actions and decisions, influenced by a clearer perception of reality, can inspire others to reflect on their own perceptions, creating a chain reaction of awareness. For instance, consider the impact of one person deciding to challenge racial stereotypes in their community. By choosing to speak out against casual racism, supporting diverse initiatives, or simply modeling inclusive behavior, this person can influence others' attitudes and behaviors. Over time, these incremental changes can contribute to a shift in community norms, making inclusivity the new standard rather than the exception. Educational and institutional influence. Education systems play a crucial role in either reinforcing the veil of ignorance or helping to lift it. Schools that encourage critical thinking, foster open dialogue, and promote a curriculum inclusive of diverse perspectives are instrumental in shaping a more aware and empathetic generation. Institutions, too, can be pivotal in this transformation. When organizations commit to transparency, equity, and diversity, they set a standard for ethical behavior and social responsibility. This can have a profound impact on societal norms, encouraging other organizations to follow suit and contributing to a broader cultural shift towards fairness and understanding. On a larger scale, informed and engaged citizens can influence policy and governance. By voting, participating in civic activities, or even running for office, individuals equipped with a clearer understanding of societal needs can help shape policies that are more equitable and just. Effective governance, informed by the collective wisdom of a society that values clarity and understanding, can lead to significant improvements in social justice, environmental sustainability, and economic equality. The role of technology and media. Technology and media have the power to either veil or unveil the truth. In a world inundated with information, critical media literacy becomes essential. By supporting media outlets that are committed to accurate and fair reporting, and by using technology to spread awareness and organize for social change, we can help ensure that technology and media serve to illuminate rather than obscure. Personal responsibility and collective action. Ultimately, the responsibility to lift the veil of ignorance begins with the individual but must transform into collective action. Each choice to seek truth, each effort to understand rather than judge, adds to a collective energy pushing toward greater awareness and compassion. It is important to remember that this is not a journey of perfection but of progress. Mistakes are inevitable, but each step taken towards understanding and transparency is a step towards a more enlightened society. As we conclude this exploration, reflect on the ways you can contribute to lifting the veil of ignorance in your own life and in your community. Whether through personal introspection, engaging in dialogue with others, or participating in civic activities, every action counts. By committing to a path of continuous learning and openness, we not only enrich our own lives but also contribute to the creation of a more just and compassionate world. It is through these individual and collective efforts that we can hope to see a future where the veil of ignorance is lifted, revealing a brighter, more truthful reality for all.